Hey guys, welcome to the show this week. Brought to you by One for Sorrow by Lee Thacker. This 8-part series delves into the world of science fiction. It reminds me very much of the work of Alan Moore, but with his own twist on it. So check out One for Sorrow. It's only $10 per chapter. You got 100 pages per chapter, and it's available on Lulu at the links below. Also this week, we have Jeff Manley's project. We have Riley, a Teenage Bigfoot. This is issue 2, but number 4 is actually available to pre-order right now at the link below. In addition to that, we have Guano Guy. This is also issue 2 rather than issue 4, but issue 4 can also be pre-ordered as well as at Kickstarter.com. Links below. Thank you very much and have a good show. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. I'm your host, James Windsor-Smith, and speaking of Windsor-Smiths, today we're looking at Barry Windsor-Smith's Monsters. I've been waiting for about 30 years for this book to be released, and it just arrived today, about an hour ago. So I'm really excited. This is my favorite artist, obviously, or I wouldn't have stolen his name. My name's not really Windsor-Smith, in case anyone was wondering. But let's take a look at this together. I'm only going to look at the first 20 pages or so, because that's all I've read, and I do not want to spoil this reading experience for myself. Now first, let's look at the cover. We have the obvious deformed, monstrous creature. We have part of a missing mouth. The character is missing this eye, so that's closed. And you have an American flag, or what looks like an American flag, sticking out of his ear. So it's already an intriguing image. It's very a striking shot. I assume he probably handled the colors for himself. I didn't look at the credits yet, but we'll get there. Okay, here's our frontispiece. All right, we start with a shot of a bicycle that's been mangled. The tire, as you can see, is coming off there. First of all, bikes are super hard to draw and get just right. And not only did it get it right, but just the bend in the tires is really an accomplishment in itself. We have a crazy old German man yelling at the child, or yelling at the woman, rather, and he seems to have, let me move it up a little, he seems to have an erection. If you really look at this, that is not the way clothing folds. So this is already going to be disturbing. All right. Right over here, my eye is drawn to the deformed action of this scene here. And that's an unusual angle for the white picket fence. And here we got a pants tent, obviously. At least obvious to me. Maybe you interpreted it differently. They're not going to come out, and they might actually come out and say that as we progress in the book. But this is clearly a very sexually deviant character. It's very unsavory. So it's unsettling the way he treats the woman. He's speaking in German, and I do not speak German, so I'm not even going to try to translate the word balloons. Then it jumps to the 60s, 1964, and the Bruce Banner standing character is being interviewed. First of all, they establish that through his hemming and hawing that he's homeless, his parents are dead, and nobody seems to know much about him. So he's a perfect candidate for the Prometheus Project. They're looking for a few bad men. But what do they need them for? These are German scientists, it seems, after World War II. They have relocated in the United States and are experimenting on humans. This guy, so far, I feel bad for him. He's just following orders, which is a very familiar term when you think about the Nazis. As you'll see, the Bruce Banner character is wearing black sunglasses here because he's missing an eye. As you'll see, like later on in the story here, they haven't established yet how he lost the eye, but he is not very forthcoming with the real reasons. I don't think they're going to matter, other than that somehow it has to do with the abuse that he undertook. That, however, does not disqualify him as a candidate for this project. But you can tell it is an issue that they did not see coming. Because he was wearing the sunglasses as he was recruited, they had no way of knowing he's got issues. Then we have McFarland, the doctor, or the guy who recruited him, having a nightmare about what could possibly be going on at that place. That's actually the stand-in for him. This dude is oozing brains out. I don't know if there is such a character in the real world, or if that's part of the project, but we'll see as it goes along. So he wakes from his dream. It reminds me of Tony Stark in Barry Windsor-Smith's Iron Man issue. If anyone remembers that, at the end he kind of wakes from a nightmare. And he's covered in sweat. And then we have flashes of what they're doing to the boy. And they have a little sign that says Project Cyclops. So obviously they're already disrespecting that this poor kid only has one eye. I can't help but have my eye drawn over here because you see this giant super soldier of a man, this German soldier, and you have Hitler. And you can, if you look at this, you see the German boots here. You can almost hear the marching of the hideous marching of the soldiers from back when. But let's go back a bit here. They're saying his having no eye is not a problem because it's so easy because it's healed over and the blood vessels have closed there. So that's a great way to enter the body for them to experiment with him. Then we're back to McFarlane's dreams here. It seems to go back and forth here with some of the flashes. And here seems to be a body being mangled and destroyed and experimented with. And then this is the last page that I've read so far. It's basically, this man is Austrian, and he's dismissing the McFarlane's worries about sending somebody to this project, the Prometheus project. He's saying, no, they're if Germans would have been experimenting on soldiers, we would have heard about it. Of course, that's not why they're there. It's because this boy was homeless and he needs a lot of special care. Then, when he leaves, when McFarlane leaves, he gets rid of the phone to the people in charge of the boy, and he is not happy with the way things are going. He's clearly got a lot of power that he's not exposing to the people. He also has a hook for a hand, and he also has one eye. Now that's got to be some sort of dichotomy with the other character. As you notice, this guy is also a monster. The whole book is full of analogies so far of who's the monster in this story and who's the human. It seems so far that the actual monster in the book is more human than the people themselves. Oh, at the end, he has some sort of power trip where he insists that they say, "I beg of you, Colonel, to forgive me." And he says, "No, I won't, you groveling little shit." Well, that's all we have this time. I'm going to read a little further. I'm sure there'll be another video later on. Let's see if there's anything on the back cover. Not really. So let's go to the front. Show off the cover of the book. I'll put a link to the Amazon website you can buy the book from, or if that's too picky, you can go and get this at your local comic store. It is officially out now, so give it a shot. This book is what is it, like $50 or so, but you're getting over 300 of the best pages that I've seen in the 21st century so far. That's I'd say maybe Chris Ware, and I've seen some Dave Sim of the Alex Raymond or rather biography that he was working on that looked really nice. But other than that, there's really not much that really has really sparked my interest in years. This is probably the first of my books, and I buy a lot of books. This is the first of my books that I felt the need to read immediately rather than just get to say I've got it. But if you want to check it out, go ahead and press like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, give me a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time on Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence.